fun facts can be truly amazing. From the smallest, weirdest details to the most astonishing happenings, these little-known tidbits of information will surprise and amaze you. This episode from FactBuzz will showcase some more amazing random facts that will astonish you for sure. Let's enjoy it! Did you know Venus is the only planet to spin clockwise? It travels around the Sun once every 225 Earth days, but it rotates clockwise once every 243 days. Venus is also hotter than Mercury, despite being further away from the Sun. A 1973 French Burgundy bottle of 73 years old sold for $558,000 at auction in 2018, setting a record for the wine industry. Amnesty International's 1945 Romanée-Conti, topped with more than 17 times its original estimated price in 2019, was sold at Sotheby's. Ever wonder why your puppy always seems drawn to the squeaky toys? Dogs are descended from wolves, and because of that, their instincts involve hunting small animals. The sound a squeaky toy makes is very similar to the sound a small animal makes when being hunted. That is the reason behind their obsessive attraction to plush toys. Most people break up on Mondays. Lee Byron and David McCandless found out while researching some public Facebook data that an exceptionally higher number of people changed their relationship status for the worst 2 weeks before Christmas, around Easter, and on Mondays. Even though this data was questionable, as people might not be live updating their breakups, it demonstrated an obvious trend. It might seem unrealistic, but crows hold grudges. In 2010, scientists in Seattle found that previously captured crows would immediately recall the picture of their perpetrator years after the incident. Once they identified the offender in question, they ganged up on him and threatened him by diving down. Thomas Hargrove has been archiving murders through his Murder Accountability Project for years. Through analyzing his own experiences, he devised an algorithm that identified patterns in recent unsolved homicides that could be linked to at least one other through DNA. This allowed him to determine the number of unsolved crimes in the US at any given time. He believes that the number of active serial killers in the US is somewhere around 2,000. Ants have a built-in Fitbit. Previous research has shown that ants use visual signals to find one another. In 2007, a bold exploration found that desert ants, in contrast to other ants, have an internal pedometer to help them monitor their travels and find their way back home. Have you ever noticed that you can always see your nose? The human brain has extraordinary potential, but in order to tap completely into its potential, sometimes, it has to block out distractions through a process called unconscious selective attention. The nose is one of those distractions that is being blocked by our brains to focus on something more important. A restaurant in New York employs grandmas as chefs. It is true that everybody believes their Italian grandma, or nonna, is the best cook around. It was a genius idea of Joe Scaravella to gather as many nonnas as he could, so as to work on his restaurant in Staten Island. The unique idea was appreciated by all, and according to the customers, there's nothing like a meal cooked by a grandmother. Did you know sharks existed before trees? Trees are quite young to the geyser sharks who rule the sea. The shark is one of the animal kingdom's oldest members that existed for around 400 million years, while trees gained their official species status around 350 million years ago. Among other notable animals, horseshoe coral and jellyfish also outlive our leafy ancestors. We all know bacteria and fungi frequently use decaying timber as a food source, but that wasn't always the case. Bacteria had to evolve to eat wood, so hundreds of millions of years ago, trees would fall at death, leaving large piles of dead wood. Forest fires of unheard of proportions would burn the enormous mounds of dead wood. According to National Geographic, that's where most of the coal at present on Earth comes from. These were just some of the most random facts you might not know about. How was this video? Did you know all these facts? Let us know in the comments section below. Wanna know more amazing daily facts? Subscribe to FactBuzz and turn on the notifications. You may also want to share these with your friends and family so they can learn something new too.